Ever since I can remember, the New York Jets have been one of the most cursed and unlucky franchises in the entire NFL. From not only bad coaching decisions to bad draft picks, bad quarterbacks, they have just not had any success since they won Super Bowl III. But today that all changes as we will be bringing the Jets back to glory in our quest to rebuild and win the Super Bowl with all 32 teams in Madden 27. So now we are obviously over here on Madden, and we are going to be doing the Jets today, as you can tell. And the Jets roster, I'm going to be honest with you, it is not the greatest. So we're going to be using a developmental coach just to try to get the most out of the talent that we do draft. And I think that's going to be the most important part because not a lot of people want to come to the Jets as it is. But once we get to build a little bit, I'm just going to go with the Lions playbook, and then we'll go with, I usually go with Vikings defense. But when we get a little bit of a momentum going, then a lot of people will want to come to the Jets because obviously we are a New York team. New York's a big market. A lot of people want to play in a big market for those teams. But let's go ahead and look at our current roster. Not good, as you can tell. A lot of bronzes here. Geno Smith at quarterback. Breece Hall, one of the few bright points, along with Garrett Wilson. Tim Patrick is our wide receiver too. Mason Taylor, Armand Membu, Titman, Myers, Parham, and Olufashanu. So we do have some good pieces on the O-line. I can't even lie to you. Armand Membu, Titman, and Fashanu, all good. Along with Kenyon Sadiq, who I'm actually going to move to starter. Just because he is hidden development and he is a dog. I know that from experience playing with a lot of Oregon in college football last year. And then we also have a hidden development receiver, Omar Cooper from Indiana. Now going to the defensive side of the ball, we've got David Bailey, obviously our first round draft choice from last year. Tavondre Sweat, Oyamata, Will McDonald, former first round pick. And then we got Brownlee, Stevens, and D'Angelo Pons, also from Indiana. And then we've got Cisco, Sherwood, Demario Davis, the highest rated player on this team at middle linebacker. He's a dog. Walker and Minka Fitzpatrick, who I honestly didn't even know signed with the Jets. You guys can't even see him. There you go. I honestly forgot that he even came to the Jets. But, you know, he's welcome to be on the team. Special teams doesn't really matter. McNamara and Sanders are kickers. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go through the preseason, obviously, and then I'll keep you guys updated in the regular season. So we actually are still in the preseason, and I'm looking at our free agents. They have a stacked class of unsigned free agents. Bobby Wagner, Tyreek Hill, Harrison Smith, Stephon Diggs, Kevin Zeitler, Joey Bosa, Joe Mixon, Taylor Decker, Kenny Moore, Keenan Allen, Matt Milano. This is like, there's multiple Hall of Famers just not signed to a team. That being the first 2-3 guys. But I don't know how many of these guys I'm going to try to get to come to the team because I do feel like it'd be a little bit cheap to just sign all these guys. Let's see if we can get Tyreek Hill to come. He's going to be quite expensive. We'll just get him on. Well, sure, maybe we get him on a 2-year deal. Can't hurt. And this is the new signing system. So signing free agents, extending players. This is the system that is in place for that. Rather than it just being like an interest kind of thing, there's now interest and patience, and they can just choose whether or not they are going to accept it based on their motivations. Obviously, you can see in the top right here, total contract value is the most important thing for Tyreek, and we gave an extra $1.5 million, and he's going to go ahead and sign. He's going to be a Jet for the next 2 years. Maybe I'll sign Kevin Zeitler just for fun. I don't want to sign Bobby Wagner because I feel like that'd just be a little bit too OP. And then Kevin Zeitler really wants a bonus, so we're going to give him $2 million extra in bonus. That bumps him up to 100%, and he'll go ahead and sign with us. But I'm going to go through training camp and everything, go through the preseason, and I'll see you guys in week 1. So over here on the draft side of things, this is like, I'm recording this on like day 1 of the MVP Plus membership pre-order early access period. And this is like the best kind of roster I could find. Robert Raymond is not a real person. I looked it up. I didn't think he was, but he is not a real person. But you do have guys like Dante Moore, Arch Manning, Drew Mestamaker, Jeremiah Smith, the real favorites to go at the top of the draft. So that'll be a cool little bit of realism. But going up against the Titans week one, this is our probably one of our more winnable games. I'm not going to play most of these games, especially when we suck. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and sim to mid-season and see where we are at and go from there. So surprisingly enough, Madden has the Jets starting off 4-3. So actually a very surprisingly good start for the Jets. As you can see, we won our first two games, lost the third, and then won the fourth and fifth, and then we ended up on a 2-game losing streak to end to midseason. And unsurprisingly, we finished 8-9. That's kind of surprising because I didn't expect us to be that good. But that is obviously not what we wanted to do, actually starting off the season good for once. We went on a long losing streak there. We lost like 4 in a row. And then just, you can't do that and expect to make the playoffs. At the end of the season, obviously 8-9 is not going to be good enough to make the playoff picture. And I did a whole bunch of yapping here, but basically we're just going to go ahead and simulate to the off season, get ready for free agency and the draft. So it looks like Brian Daboll is no longer the offensive coordinator of the Titans. We're going to go ahead and sign him as our offensive coordinator. Level 17. We're going to see if we can go ahead and get a better D coordinator as well. Aaron Glenn, we can hire him back. That's not happening, though. Robert Saleh can come back, too. Brandon Staley, Dan Quinn. I'm going to go ahead and, just because he is such a high level, I'm going to go Brandon Staley. Not who I would choose if this were to be real life. But good coaching changes for us, and we're going to move into free agency. So now moving into our first year of free agency, Tyreek Hill did retire, so we could look to get another receiver. George Pickens is probably going to be way too expensive. Parker Washington we could probably do. Josh Downs we could probably do. Romeo Doubs even. But the new free agency frenzy, instead of having it just be like the 3 weeks that it was last year, or for like however many years before, you set an initial contract offer. We're going to throw like $9 million a year, $14 million signing bonus. We'll throw 3 years guaranteed. His interest is only at 55, so we're going to have to make a couple of changes here. Maybe increase his bonus here. He doesn't really care about his bonus. Just wants to have a lot more actual money. And there's a couple of paths that you can choose usually to kind of play like hardball. Instead of actually adding or subtracting money or actually making a change, you can just choose to refuse, guarantee another year, but it also just changes based on the situation. Offer him more bonus, less salary. He likes where we're headed. We're at 96. We're going to ask him. We're going to pitch why the current value works. This should push him over. Yeah. So we're at 100%. That doesn't mean that he's 100% going to sign with us. That would be a very good pickup for us. Also, a guy like Ezra Cleveland at left guard just kind of bolster that O-line. You can even pitch winning a championship, which I don't think we're going to do. But that does get him to 100% interest. So if Ezra Cleveland could come on, that would be very good for us. We do need linebackers badly. So Zaire Franklin would be a really good pickup for us. We'll throw him like 2 years, $4 million, $3 signing bonus. This starting as a negotiation as a team player. The signing bonus is the safety net that lets me play with freedom. We'll try to throw him a little bit more bonus. He has a lot of patience, so when they have super high patience, you can just choose to like play hardball, and usually that'll get him to top interest, as you see there. So good for us. We also need corners, so trying to get a corner is going to be crucial. Isaiah Rodgers would be a good guy to go ahead and scoop up. He's only 29 years old. We'll throw him a 3 years, $6 million a year. $4 million on the signing bonus. We'll throw him all 3 years guaranteed. He just does not want to come here. So, there's really not much we could do with that one. All right, and we got 100% interest from Marshawn Lattimore. So as you see in the bottom right, there's 10 total hours of free agency frenzy instead of the 3 weeks. So we're going to go ahead and advance 1 hour. Marshawn Lattimore is still thinking about our offer. Did we end up signing anybody? Josh Downs and Zaire Franklin both come to the squad. So with all of them on our squad, we'll look ahead and see who we need here. Yeah, just corner, linebacker depth overall. Ezra Cleveland ended up going to the Giants, so not good. So he's at 90% total interest. He only has 16% patience left, but the number that he wants really is just not realistic for me. I mean, we can throw another year guaranteed money his way, but it looks like he's at 100% interest. We'll see if we can go ahead and land him. We can't. But we do land Marshawn Lattimore, so good there. We could try to get a guy like Emmanuel Forbes. All right, we got Emmanuel Forbes at 100% interest. We'll see if he's interested. We'll skip an hour. He signs with the Dolphins. So not, like I said, not a lot of guys want to come to the Jets. And linebackers are almost pretty much cleaned out. We'll try to get Malcolm Rodriguez. I know that he's good because I'm a Lions fan. He was on the Lions. All right, we got 100% interest. He still has 66% patience, which I do feel like is a indicator that he kind of wants to sign. A lot of the O-linemen have already been cleaned up by other guys. So a little bit tough there on that front. 6 hours remaining. We're going to go ahead and see it. Our overall signings. With Josh Downs, Zaire Franklin, Marshawn Lattimore. Malcolm Rodriguez does end up coming. Honestly, at this point, I think we're just going to go ahead and advance to the draft because I don't think there's anybody that I mean, I can go take a look at who's all available still because I do have quite a bit of cap space. So, like, if somebody like George Pickens hasn't signed, maybe I'll throw him a low ball. He goes to the Texans. Corey Borioquez, maybe I can get him as a punter. I like to just sign my punters and kickers to long contracts. Just because a lot of times when you go into seasons without even realizing your punter or kicker is left, you get fucked over a little bit. But we're going to see if we can sign him. Anyways, you guys will just see us skip to the draft. So looking at the overall draft board, Jeremiah Smith looks like the consensus best player in the draft. Arch Manning, Drew Mestamaker, and Darian Mental look like they're probably going to go in the top 5. Dante Moore, who would have been my choice, honestly, for QB1 in this draft, falling to number 7 in the mock. And then you also got Tony Freeman from Penn State. BAAB, not bad. Field general, we pick at pick 14 and 15. So we're just going to go ahead and advance just a couple picks. Jeremiah Smith goes ahead and goes number 1. If a guy like Dante Moore is still there, at Ryan Williams goes to the Titans. Makes sense because they already got a quarterback. Arch Manning goes to the Panthers. If we get to like the Jags or Commanders picks and there's still Dante Moore on the board, I'm going to trade up and take him, use both those picks. We also have the 25th pick to use to our advantage. So now I just got to go off what I know. The Commanders don't need a quarterback, so I'm going to go ahead and let them draft. Yeah, they drafted a running back. I'm going to go ahead and try to trade for the Cardinals pick here. We're going to see if round 1 pick 14 and round 2 pick 47 are enough. We'll see where we're at. And it looks like that's enough. I was prepared to use 2 first-round picks trading up. Oh, that wasn't... Huh. Okay, I really thought that was accepted. So it is accepted. But when if I go to next user pick, did we draft Drew Mestamaker? I didn't even mean to... This is a crazy glitch. We just lost our pick? Hold on. Yeah, we just lost our pick. That's crazy. That's wild. Whatever. Anyway, Dante Moore, you are a New York Jet. We'll see where the value is. Ooh, value at 56. He does have hidden dev, though. Damn. That sucks. We just got hoed. So I don't know if that also means we lost our second-round pick. I assume it does because it was in the trade. But let's take a look at Stevenson here. C run block, not good. So I think who we're going to go with our 25th overall pick is going to be Raheem Brooks, the center. He does have B awareness, A impact blocking, B to C pass block, A to B run block. He does have solid strength, which really does matter with O linemen. Obviously, you got to have him strong. We're just looking for hidden dev here. We don't really care about the value. I mean, we do, but it's not a super big deal if the value isn't up to par. And we lose our second round pick, so that was great. And then with our third round pick, since we had to skip our second round pick, we're going to do Carlos Jackson. He does have normal dev, unfortunately, but for a third round, you can't really complain about normal. But we're going to head to the end of the draft, look at our overall draft board, and then we'll head to year number 2. All right, so I simmed the next year, and Drew Messamaker's is on my team. So that's freaking great. This is a $70 game, by the way. Paid $150 for this to have this game right now, by the way. Drew Messamaker has star. This is kind of cheating, but not really. I got fucked over, so let me have this. I would rather honestly have Dante Moore anyway. So if we can get good trade value out of Messamaker, that'd be dope. And Dante Moore has superstar anyway, so we are going to go ahead and use him as our starting QB. Messamaker will be getting traded. What do I want to have his number as? I have it as 3 is good. Drew Messamaker, we'll see if we can get any value out of him. Hopefully a first round pick. Hopefully number 8 in the draft, or 14 in the draft, or whatever we got scammed out of. And no trade offers for this package. So that's just great. We're also going to throw Reed Brooks, our other first round pick, at starting center just to get him reps. We're going to go through training camp, and we'll look at our roster at the start of the year. Alrighty, looking at our roster for year number 2. Dante Moore as our starting quarterback, a 75 superstar rookie. 91 overall now for Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson's up to a 91. Josh Downs is an 84. And Omar Cooper is an 80. Olu Fashanu is a 79. Donald Parham is 78. Our new rookie Brooks is a 74. Tittman's an 82. Membu's an 86. Kenyon Sadiq is a 78. Now over on the defensive side of the ball, D'Angelo Pons is an 81. Marshawn Lattimore, 78. Brownlee, 78. David Bailey, 88. Trevondre Sweat, 80. Jackson, 76. Will McDowell's a 79. Mika is an 88. Malcolm Rodriguez, 75. Zaire Franklin, 78. Sherwood, 78. And Andre Sisco is a 79. We're going to go ahead and send a midseason and see how good we are. So at the mid-season mark of season number 2, we are 2-5. Not great. We'll go ahead and upgrade these players. That's really the most important part of this, is just upgrading all of our players. Go ahead and lost to the Eagles, lost to the Commanders, beat the Bills somehow, lost to the Panthers, lost to the Patriots, lost to the Chiefs, did beat the Bengals in a close one. We'll go ahead and look at our stats here. Dante Moore, only 6 passing touchdowns. We got to get those numbers up, rookie. Breece Hall, 4 touchdowns, 385 yards. Ran out 201 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dante Moore, 109 rushing yards. Receiving, Garrett Wilson, 356 and 2. Kenyon Sadiq, 333 and 2 touchdowns. Leading receiver on the team. So I guess that's a pro of having a rookie quarterback. Josh Downs, 29 receptions for 296 and a touchdown. Omar Cooper, 28 receptions, 235 yards, and a touchdown as well. Over here on the defensive side of the ball, our leader in tackles is Jamie Sherwood, followed by D'Angelo Pons. Tackle for loss leader is Jawan Briggs, and then Zaire Franklin and David Bailey. Our sack leader, David Bailey, with only 3 sacks. Devondre Sweat with 2 interceptions. D'Angelo Pons has 2, Minka has 2, Dane Belton has 1, Cisco has 1. So we're forcing them to turn the ball over. How many fumbles? 2. We just got to get more pressure on the quarterback, it looks like. So in free agency in the draft, that will be a priority for us. We're going to head and sim to the playoffs. I don't think we're going to make it, but I'll see you then. And at the end of season number 2, we are 6-11. That's about where I expected to be at this point. I feel like we just had kind of a fluke season last year. If we go over to stats just to see how our players are doing and developing, Dante Moore, 16 touchdowns, 7 picks, 3,600 yards. Not the best on the touchdowns, but pretty good on the yards. Breece Hall, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. Braylon Allen had 5. Dante Moore had a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Garrett Wilson had almost 1,000 yards. Kenyon Sadiq, 844, so that's very good. Josh Downs, 702 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't love it. Going over to defense, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. leads us in tackles, and then Dane Belton following. In the tackle for loss category, Joan Briggs, D tackle from Cincinnati, had 18. Devondre Sweat had 12. David Bailey had 10. And sacks, also led by David Bailey. Major progression there. I think he's almost up to a 90 now. 11.5 for him, 4 for Jawan Briggs. T'Vondre Sweat also had 4. Josh Franklin Myers had 3.5. So we actually picked up the sack production at the end of the year. Minka Fitzpatrick had 5 picks. Najee Ponce had 4. Andre Sisco had 2. Dayton Belton had 1. I think we just need to focus on getting a secondary pass rusher this year, whether it's through free agency or the draft. But I will see you guys when it is time for free agency. At the end of free agency, it's not technically the end, but I think I've signed everybody that I want to and am going to. Oh, I gotta go to my signings. Looking at our signings, we signed Nolan Smith Jr. to a pretty big contract. I can't even lie, but we desperately needed a running mate with David Bailey. Deontay Banks, cornerback, signs star dev. Roger McCurry just for some depth. And then Derek Barnes and Anthony Orji. A really weird thing that I've noticed in franchise. I noticed at the end of last year is that in free agency, there's just an excess of superstar or star linebackers at either Sam or Will. And I got 2 superstar linebackers. These guys aren't really superstars if you go to play like quick play. But obviously I'll take it where I can get it. We'll go ahead and move on to the draft, and I'll see you guys then. So now looking at our roster on year number 3, I totally forgot to film the draft, but I'll try my hardest to point out who we got. Dante Moore is an 87 in year 2. That is what we love to see. Breece Hall is a 95. We just signed him to a 4-year contract extension. It was very expensive, unfortunately. Garrett Wilson is a 91. Josh Downs to an 86. Omar Cooper is an 82, and then Lacey and Smith are 72 and 71. We also drafted a receiver in the 3rd round, O'Neal. I shouldn't have drafted a receiver, low-key. I forgot that we had all those guys. Anyway, Olu Fashani's an 80. Donald Parham's a 78. He has like a 1-week injury, so I'm just going to count him. Brooks is a 78, our first-round pick from last year, late first round. Titman is an 84. Armand Membu is an 87. What a dog. Kenyon Sadiq is an 83. Mason Taylor a 78. Now looking at our defense, probably where our biggest changes have been. D'Angelo Pons is an 86. Deontay Banks, who we just signed, is an 81. Roger McCurry, who we just signed, is an 81. And then looking at the D-line, David Bailey is a 90. T'Vondre Sweat, 81. Jackson Jr. is a 78. We also drafted a rookie. Actually, why is he not starting? We drafted this rookie, and somehow he isn't starting. But I'm putting him number 1 because he has head and dev. Nolan Smith, who we signed in free agency, is an 89. Minka Fitzpatrick is up to an 88. Derek Barnes is an 83. Orji's a 72. Zaire Franklin is a 78. Sherwood an 80. And then we also drafted Merriweather, who I believe was in the 2nd round. 73 overall, not great for the 2nd round. And then Andre Sisco is a 81 at free safety. I'm going to go ahead and sim to mid-season. Hopefully good things happen to us. We're an 86 overall. We got an 87 offense. That's pretty good. I think we can make the playoffs this year easily, but let's hope we get off to a good start. Before I just simmed like the week 1 just so I could see what the team was looking like. But we got to our re-signing phase of some of these guys. Olu Fashanu wants a big contract. This dude wants $18 million bonus. He's only 25 years old. He's very young, but he's only a 79 years old star dev. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him. As much as it would be nice to keep him, for the financial situation, it just makes no type of sense. So I thought I'd give you guys that update. All right, guys, mid-season, we are 4-2. You absolutely love to see it. Atop of the AFC East. We're going to go ahead and look at our stats here. Dante Moore, freaking dog. 1,400 yards, 13 tutties, and a pick. Breece Hall with 5 rushing touchdowns and almost 600 yards on only 100 attempts. Garrett Wilson has 665, 7 touchdowns. Kenyon Sadiq has 234, 2 touchdowns. Joshua Downs, 215 and a touchdowns. Omar Cooper with 2 touchdowns. Braylon Allen also had 1. The defense, man, we have been actually stifling people. Nolan Smith Jr., 7 tackles for loss, along with Carl Rivers. Darnell Jackson with 6. Carl Rivers, our rookie, by the way. Jamie Sherwood with 4. Dane Belton with 3. Now for our sack totals, really not like one standout guy. We just kind of just been getting them all around. David Bailey with a sack and a half. Carl Rivers with 1. Sherwood with 1. Cisco with 1. Pons with 1. Will McDonald with 1. Nolan Smith Jr., for the money we're paying you, half a sack is bullshit, buddy. Along with Darnell Jackson, Dane Belton. Interceptions. 2 for Jamie Sherwood and 1 for Deontay Banks. What about forced fumbles? We forced any fumbles? 2 forced fumbles by Dane Belton. Dude, Dane Belton, low-key a sleeper on this defense. Can't even lie to you. Jason Sanders, I can't even complain. We're doing good. I'm just going to sim to the playoffs and see you guys then. End of the year, 8-9. Brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Only 24. Holy fall off from Dante Moore. It was looking like he might lead the NFL in touchdowns. Now he sucks. Let's look at our schedule here. Now, obviously, we just lost a bunch of games at the end of the year. Started off, we were just holding people to really low point totals. And then our offense took a shit, and our defense took a shit. We lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of our last 10 games. You can't do that and expect to make the playoffs, man. So I don't really even know what we can do other than just like keep developing, keep getting better. I'll see you guys in the offseason. All right, to start year 4, we're looking at our free agents. We signed 88 overall Michael Owenu to a nice 3-year deal. Will Riker to a 6-year deal to become our kicker. Chamari Connor, a superstar free safety, and Josh Metellus to be strong safety. I'm probably going to move Metellus to linebacker just because he's a little bit more big. We'll go ahead and move on to the draft. See you guys then. So actually a big signing. At the end of the draft, you can go now and sign undrafted free agents. So I saw Derek Nails, a 76 overall left tackle. I'm like, we can always use a left tackle on our roster. I mean, our starter was only a 74, so we just got a starting left tackle, basically in free agency. He's only 22 years old. I signed him a 4-year, fully guaranteed deal for $7 million a year. Not bad at all. Looking at our draft, we have Hal Holly, a Mike linebacker, 72 overall. Victor Walden, a D lineman, 76. This is maybe my worst pick ever. They said this was 300 value. 300 total value. I picked him at pick 47. Not good, 63 overall. Brad Atkins, a wide receiver for 70 overall. These were all auto-gen or auto-drafted players. Jay Mackey, 74 overall free safety. Don't mind that at all. But we're going to go ahead and sim through training camp and everything and see what our overall and what our team is looking like. Alrighty, so looking at our roster for year number 4, we got Nails, our undrafted free agent rookie, 77 overall, hidden dev. Titman's a 79, Brooks 81, Owenu 89, Membu 88, Kenyon Sadiq up to an 87, Garrett Wilson's a 92, Josh Downs an 87, Omar Cooper's an 85, Breece Hall's a 95, Dante Moore's up to a 91. Looking at our defense, we've got Chamari Connor at 83, Cisco at 82, Sherwood 82, Holly, our rookie, 82. I don't know how we jumped up that much. 84 for Derek Barnes, now a superstar X Factor. Josh Metellus 83, D'Angelo Pons 90, David Bailey 91. Our second year D tackle Carl Rivers 87 X Factor. Tavondre Sweat. We also have Walden, our first round pick rookie, as a 77. Nolan Smith as a 90. Deontay Banks is an 85, Pons is a 90, and Roger McCreary is an 82, and Brownlee is an 80. In our special teams, we did make a big upgrade here. Crawshaw and Reichard, both upgrades over who we last had. But I'm just going to assume to midseason. Hopefully we get good things done, and let's go there. All right, now looking at midseason, we are 5-2. You just can't see it because Roma Dunzy is in the way. 5-2. Looking at our stats here, Dante Moore, 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks. Breece Hall, 6 touchdowns. Braylon Allen, 6 touchdowns. And Dante Moore with 2. Garrett Wilson, 513 yards, 5 touchdowns. Josh Downs with 4. Kenyon Sadiq doesn't have any. Omar Cooper with 3. Blocking, how many sacks have we let up? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sacks. That's like almost 2 a game. Not good. Deontay Banks leads us in tackles, and then Sherwood, Pons, Connor, McCreary, Metellus. Tackles for loss, Tavondre Sweat with 8, David Bailey with 6, Nolan Smith with 5, Carl Rivers with 4, Holly with 3. Looking at sacks, 7.5 for Nolan Smith in the middle of the year. Carl Rivers with 4.5, David Bailey with 4, Sweat with 3.5, Sherwood with 2. Pretty good, can't even lie. 2 interceptions for Roger McCreary, 1 for Pons, 1 for Connor. So we're actually doing really good. We just got to not collapse at the end of the season like we did last time, and I'll see you guys in the playoff. Alright guys, for the first time in the video, we have brought the Jets to the playoffs. Looking at our stats for the year, only 27 touchdowns for Dante Moore, but he had almost 4,500 yards. So just 1,200 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns, 11 from Braylon Allen. Unreal. That's why he didn't have as many touchdowns. Garrett Wilson, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Josh Downs, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Kenyon Sadiq had almost 1,000 and a touchdown. Omar Cooper had 709 and 4 touchdowns. Looking at our defensive side of the ball, 117 tackles from Deontay Banks, 108 from Sherwood, 90 from Cisco. Tackles for loss, 20 from David Bailey, unreal. 19 from Tavondre Sweat, 17 from Nolan Smith, 13 from Carl Rivers. For sacks, Nolan Smith had 14 and a half. Carl Rivers had 10. David Bailey had 8. Tavondre Sweat was 6 and a half. Sherwood with 4 and a half. Looking at our interceptions, Roger McCreary had 4. D'Angelo Ponce had 3. Cisco had 2. Metellus had 1. And Shamari Connor had 1. But we're going to go ahead and I'm not going to be playing, but I will be the game, and we will be just basically simming it and seeing how good we do. So moving on to our playoff game, a little bit of snow is in the forecast at MetLife Field. You can see it falling down. You can see the green light reflecting off it. It does look very beautiful. If you got to give Madden a little bit of credit, the game looks good. And it always pretty much does. Ever since like Madden 25. Let's get in here. And this could be a good opportunity to see the dynamic weather that's in Madden 27. We're going to sim the first quarter. We go down there, score. They do tie it up. And we end up punting to end the first. We're just going back and forth, making them each other punt. We go down, score. They answer it real quick. We score. They score. This is a tight game, man. They do have the ball. We get a stop. We got 1 minute and 9 seconds to. Oh, should we jump in? I think we should jump in. I'm gonna jump in. This is the first time I've played with this team. Dante Moore, 2 turnovers for the boys. Not what we want to see. I'm gonna hit Garrett Wilson here. Possession catch. Run a little bit of hurry up. Let's hope that hurry up actually works in this. Sends his man in motion. Breece Hall should be wide open here. Breece, get out. We can say the timeout. Did he get out? No. Fuck. Could have saved ourselves a timeout. As long as we have enough time for it to set up. He should be open. Aggressive catch. Brings it down. Call our second timeout. Garrett Wilson or Sadiq should be wide open. Sadiq, one-on-one. I'll take that opportunity. He catches it right on the 3-yard line. We got 27 seconds. No timeouts. And if you ask me, this play should be absolute money. Josh Downs is going to be my main target here. Can he bring it in? He drops it. He had the game in his hands, and he let it go through his fingers. 23 seconds to remain. Garrett Wilson, back of the end zone, touchdown, Jets. Do we go for 2 is the thing. Should we go for 2? I almost want to. I'm going to do it. Fuck it. I'm going to see if we can. I'll route stem this down just so he's like barely in the end zone. I'm going to look for Kenyon Sadiq here. Kenyon Sadiq. Got it for the win. You can't count out the Chiefs ever, but 19 seconds left. I feel pretty good about our chances. All right, Mahomes and the offense for the Chiefs. We don't want to let up any kind of long pass. I don't know how that's not intentional grounding. We can't let them score a touchdown, obviously, but even if they get in the field goal range, it is snowing and everything. And they have 3 timeouts, but 8 seconds left. It's not looking great for them. They're running Hail Mary. And he dropped it. He had the catch in his hands. Unbelievable. I'm going to go to cover. Oh, I should have called cover 4, but I'm just going to run all the way back there. Hope they can't come down with a miracle. Ball is incomplete, and the Jets defeat the Kansas City Chiefs to move on to the divisional round. All right, for the divisional round, we are playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Again, we are at home. It says it's going to be partly cloudy. We don't get another snow playoff game from East Rutherford. So in the divisional, we kick off. We end up stopping them. We get 3. We stop them again. Not a lot of offense. We get another field goal. They score a touchdown to take the lead. Can we go get 6? No, we only get 3. They do have a lead on us now. It's an 8-point lead. Not looking good. They get a stop and they score. Dang. It looks like that's going to be it. Chargers move on to the AFC Championship, and in year 4, the Jets fall short. But nothing to scoff at. Very good season from the boys. And I guess we'll just move on to next year. All right, so start of year number 5. Dante Moore's a 97. Brees Hall's a 95. Nails, Titman, Brooks, Owenu, Membu, all coming along nicely. Kenya Seeks, almost a 90. Downs is an 88. Cooper's an 87. I am going to have to trade somebody because Garrett Wilson is holding out for a new contract, and we do not have the cap space to re-sign him, unfortunately. And that might also be the same with David Bailey because he's also nowhere to be seen, so that isn't fun. But Pons is a 92. Thank God. He's just progressing like crazy. Banks is a 86. McCurry 81. Wagner's a 76. All these guys. We have 3 hidden dev right edges. That's good. Rivers is up to a 90. Jackson to an 82. 90 for Nolan Smith. Dane Belton's an 80. Derek Barnes 83. Holly 83. Sherwood 83. Chamari Connor 85. Him or Cisco is probably going to have to go just to make cap space, but I'll let you guys know at midseason. All right, so we made the contracts work. We did have to trade away some players, unfortunately. We had to trade away Omar Cooper and Josh Downs, but we did get in return Jay Smith. I don't know his first name, to be honest with you. He's an 85 overall. We traded away Michael Owenu, and we got this T Cloud guy. He's like on a rookie scale deal, and he's an 87 and superstar dev. So that was like the easiest deal I've ever had to make. And then we had to... Who did we trade away? We traded away someone on defense. I can't recall. But David Bailey is back, and we are 4-2. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can really get into at this point of the rebuild. Just kind of like we just got to keep it rolling. But I'll send to the playoffs and see if we make it. We should, but let's see. All right, folks, we went 10-7 on the year. We do have a home playoff game. We won the AFC East yet again. And we are playing the Tennessee Titans. We're just going to go ahead and sim to the end of the game. We go ahead and score first. They tie it up. They take a 14-7 lead. We tie it back up. Going into halftime, can we get some points? We get a 3-point lead into halftime. Take a touchdown. Get a field goal. Got a touchdown. And we blow them out of the water under a little bit of light snow here at MetLife Field. 42-14, and we are going to the divisional. All right, moving on. We have our divisional round matchup against the Ravens at the Ravens. This is going to be tough. The Ravens playbook is always goated. They're 12-5 this year. We're just going to go ahead and jump to the end of the game. Maybe hop in if it's close at the end. 3-0 us. Get a stop. They get a stop. We get a touchdown on a long play. We get another stop. Halftime is 10-0. Defense is stifling them right now. 17-0. 17-0. The New York Jets are going to the AFC Championship game with a chance of the Super Bowl on the line. And the AFC Championship game back at MetLife, I don't know if it's ever been at MetLife. Maybe those years where they were actually kind of good in the early 2010s. Dante Moore leading the boys out to play the Colts. We traded Josh Downs back to the Colts. I guess I didn't even realize that when I did it. Garrett Wilson, what a season from him, man. Hyping up the gang. All right, Colts go down, take an early 3-0 lead, early 10-0 lead. We get a touchdown. We get another touchdown back in the lead. Snow's starting to come down a little bit. They play inside. They might not be built for this. Going into the fourth with an 11-point lead. Defense is stepping up. And the New York Jets are going to the Super Bowl. I haven't even had to step in. What a freaking playoff run from these boys. They want it. The city wants it. God wills it. The Jets are going to the Super Bowl. And the New York Jets will be facing off in Super Bowl 65 versus the San Francisco 49ers live from New Orleans. Here we go. We get a stop early. They go down, take a touchdown lead. We tie it back up 10-7, 14-10. Doing good things here. Going into halftime, we are in the lead. Take a touchdown lead. They do have a chance. If I could spectate, I could. But I am going to take the liberty to lead this team down the field another 28 yards into the end zone and ice the Super Bowl. Breece Hall, 2-yard pickup. It's going to be 4th and 3. I didn't realize it was already 3rd down. Maybe I would have changed the play call. But Will Reichert to make it a 2-possession game here in Super Bowl 65. Kick is up, and his kick is good. 49ers, the ball is in your court. The 49ers no longer coached by Kyle Shanahan, it looks like. Well, it's interesting to see that they got a new coach and they're still back here at the mountaintop. Can they get to the other side? Brock Purdy sends Bishop, his running back, in motion. Got time, fires, Cisco breaks it up. Claire, the tight end. Incomplete. Purdy on 2nd down. Motions Amarian Hampton to his right. Fires. That ball is caught by Claire, brought down by Cisco. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. And they're going to run hurry up here. Purdy back to pass again. Steps up. He's going to run. Ball comes out. Picked up by Sherwood. And that will all but end it. 2 minutes 22 to go. Jamie Sherwood recovers the fumble. And the Jets are going to win the freaking Super Bowl. I didn't know I'd ever say that sentence. More on 1st down. The give to Breece Hall up the middle. Makes a man miss. He's breaking tackles down to the 11. 1st down, Jets in the red zone. And with that, that will officially do it with one kneel by Dante Moore. The New York Football Jets, with a final score of 23-10. Legends like Dante Moore, Garrett Wilson, David Bailey win Super Bowl 65 and end the curse of 62 years to become Super Bowl champions for the 2nd time in the team's history. I am on a quest to rebuild every team in Madden 27, and this is just the first of 32. 31 other teams got to be rebuilt, got to win the Super Bowl, and you guys are choosing who I pick next. Top comment, I'll choose if anyone decides to leave a comment, but if you guys did like the video, drop a like on the video. If you want to see me rebuild every team in Madden along with rebuilds of Dynasty and just NFL and college football news, subscribe to the channel. Comment what you guys want to see next. Comment the next team that deserves to be rebuilt, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!